Just obviously coming into a new school, new surrounding, new environment. What's it been like for you, and what was it like getting to know Coach Kysre?
The atmosphere has just been wonderful to be able to come in and learn and to adapt to the new system. It definitely has its pros and cons, but coming into a system with a group of girls who embrace, who I am and what I do, along with the coaching staff as well, it's definitely been a humbling experience for me, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my career here.
What goes through your mind when you hear Coach Kysre yell for the first time?
Nothing that I haven't heard before. While you're playing basketball, you get used to the experience. Everyone has a different coaching style, a different persona of how they approach things. And, I kind of actually vibe with Coach Kysre. I think, he's the type of guy that can be able to get on you and then pat you on the back when you do something well, which is so important, at this level, building your confidence and what have you.
Michigan was home for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How difficult of a choice was that to transfer, to come here, to leave home, so to speak?
It was definitely a huge risk for me at first, but being here, I feel like it is my home away from home. I feel more at home here than I did actually being 2 hours away, which is definitely, great for me. I feel like I'm grasping my full college experience here as well, and I'm enjoying playing basketball. And I feel like that's so important, at the college level, because things do change from high school to college. Everyone's just as good as you are, and the philosophy and the system changes. So being able to come in where he embraced what I do and to learn about the other girls I'm definitely excited about that.
What's family say when you tell them, I'm thinking about moving, transferring? What's family say to that?
It was...
They got to see you all the time there.
There were some of them that that were happy to hear, and some that weren't. But ultimately they had to figure out what was my best interest and find that a place in my heart as well. And it did take some time to grasp. However, I know that I made the right decision, and they feel confident about my decision. So as long as I'm happy at the end of the day, that's really all that you can wish for your child or grandchild or whomever.
Why West Virginia? Can you talk a little bit about how that connection first came about?
I consider West Virginia because Coach Chester recruited me at Michigan when I was in the 8th grade, and I believe he was at Michigan at the time. When he left, it was kind of like a devastating loss for me and my family with the whole recruiting process, but they still told me to consider it because it was close to home, and they wanted me to stay close to home, and me being the first Michigan kid staying in state and playing. It had its pros and cons, but obviously, it didn't work out. So during the whole transferring process, he reached out to me, and I decided to give West Virginia a chance. I came on my visit with an open mind, and I just fell in love. And so now I'm a future and now a Mountaineer. So.
Sound like that visit exceeded your expectations.
It did. People asked, they were like, what in the world, where is West Virginia? And I said the same thing when I got here. All I saw was mountains, and I'm like, I don't really know about this until I finally came on down to campus, and I just fell in love with the atmosphere and everything that West Virginia stands for, from an athletic to an academic standpoint.
Obviously this year is going to be a different experience for you, having to sit out. So how do you handle that? And obviously you had a great freshman year at Michigan, and so I'm sure you want to just get right back into it, but rules being the way they are, how do you handle this season? What do you do to keep your mind into the game?
Well, for the first time, it's finally hitting me. All throughout the summer, I felt like I was one of the girls who was getting ready to prepare for the season, and now since the season is finally here and it's slowly approaching, and when we have practices and we're starting to scrimmage, I have to flip my jersey to gold. So now reality is starting to set in, but I'm taking in the experience one day at a time, and I can only think positive from here on, day on out, day in.
Do you do anything to stay positive? Like, do you count the days to when you can play, or
I just, right now, my biggest thing, I'm just trying to be a sponge and just absorb anything and everything that I can. Coach Kysre told me that he's kind of glad that I'm taking this year off so I can learn about the system and I can learn more of what he wants. So coming into next year, I feel like I have that respect from not only my teammates, from the coach himself as well, which is very important moving forward. Just, building my confidence level and just learning about the system and how I can implement my style in as well.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it goes fast, right? I mean, yeah.
Hope so.
So, thank you.
How's learning about the system been so far for you, offensively and defensively?
Offensively, it's been tremendous, just because my style of play has been able to fit in along with the system that he has with ball screen actions. Defense was a little harder than what I expected. You know, every coach has their different philosophy and how they want to, you know, play different angles and help defense. So I'm still learning day by day, but I feel like I'm getting better with it as well.
I mean, it's physical for 40, right? Coach Kysre really preaches being physical on defense and getting over ball screens and fighting for rebounds and things like that. That's a lot to take in as a transfer, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first I've ever heard, you know, take a break on offense rather than on defense. So now, with defense being the priority, that is my mindset every day, day in and day out. The offensive sets will come, you know, the shots will be made, but defense ultimately wins championships. And now coming here, I really truly understand the meaning and value of that.